All right, welcome everyone. Sunday Speedrunner Spotlight episode 26 because I don't know. We're still here.
We're
I,
balling.
we're balling, straight balling. I don't know. Just can't stop. Won't stop apparently. You can't escape me talking to people that speedrun games. Unfortunate or fortunate, depending on how you look at things. Anyway, we had Cheese on last week, who specializes in some of the longer Mario 64. So why not have someone that specializes in the shorter Mario 64? That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, great. So welcome TREYBORDO to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. How are you?
Uh, okay. Uh, it always feels better to start a show, so raises
Yeah,
the
I got you.
spirits a little bit, at least for me. So quite
Hell
enjoy
yeah.
what I do here. That's what matters in life. So
Talking is fun.
it is fun. Some people maybe shouldn't talk, even if they find it fun, but speedrunners are cool people, so then it's okay, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree, man.
Okay. See, got to start off on the same page, so
Yeah, yeah.
makes perfect sense. Anyway, let's start with the obvious first question of what got you started in the speedrun scene.
So it's kind of a funny story. Back in like 2020 during like COVID, I like I don't know, like most people, I went on spring break and then you know didn't go back to school until the
Hmm.
next year. And during then, I started watching Ludwig and Mizkif on
Oh,
Twitch,
okay.
and
An interesting start.
yeah, and they both started speedrunning, and I was like, what is this game? I've never even played a 3D Mario game. Uh,
Okay.
and so I was like, how do I do this? So I like looked it up and I found like the emulators and stuff, and then I started speedrunning. So it was literally my first 3D Mario game ever, and I started speedrunning it. So I just started like doing runs, and then I kind of started from there, and then I kind of faded out from watching them, but that's how I started.
That,
Pretty funny.
that's kind of fascinating, honestly. Just never knowing or never playing a 3D Mario game is wild to hear, honestly.
Yeah,
Those are like the
I
games to play.
the only Mario game I ever played was NSB Wii
Mm,
for yeah, for the Wii.
yeah.
Uh, I would like play it with my parents, but I didn't even know Mario 64 was a thing until I watched uh, them do speedruns of it. And then I found like Simply and Aki because that was around when they got the 13828 and the 1459. And
Mm,
I was like, this is pretty cool.
it is
So I
pretty
tried it
cool.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just I don't know. That's just fascinating to me because well, I mean, I grew up with the Wii, I guess. So yeah, I had New Super Mario Brothers, but like, Galaxy, come on. Never played
I
any
never played
Galaxy.
Galaxy. We didn't have it.
Unfortunate,
I
but
I don't know how I just never played any games or any 3D Mario games, but it was my first one, and it's still the only one that I've ever beat.
fascinating. But yeah, I had a Mario 64 DS as a kid. So, as far as I knew, that was an original game for the longest time. So,
Oh, really? You
it
didn't
yeah,
even know
yeah.
64
I
existed?
never had a Nintendo 64. I had an NES because it was my parents, and then went straight to Wii and the DS. But like, it's a significant step, and you're missing a lot of history. That's like three console generations, or like four
Yeah,
even. It's like okay, so yeah, a little weird, but yeah, I mean, as a kid, how
yeah,
are
yeah,
you to
yeah.
know about the older games? Like I thought, like what did they do for the 25th? They just put Mario All Stars, the Super Nintendo game, on a disc, on a Wii disc, and sold it again. Far as I knew, that was
Uh,
new. That was new.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like VC or?
Actually, just funnily enough, I happen to have. No, it's just Super Mario All Stars on the Wii.
Oh, okay.
So like,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah. So I'm holding a Wii disc on this Wii disc is a Super Nintendo ROM, and that is it. That is all they did.
That's hilarious.
It
I actually had no idea
typical
that existed.
Nintendo moment, honestly. But yeah, it just so there was that in Mario 64 DS. Like, I don't know. Those original games to me as a kid, but then you look back, it's like at least Mario 64 DS made sense. But then you think of the All Stars thing, it's like, oh, that was really boring. Thanks,
Yeah.
Nintendo. But yeah. Yeah, New Super Mario Bros. Wii I played a lot too, so that's a good
I
game.
I played that game so much. I love that game.
Oh, it's great.
It's one of my favorite games ever, like easily. I love playing it.
Hmm. Yeah, I introduced that was the first game with like multiplayer for 4 people. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I that was like the first game I ever like really played. So I remember playing with my family. Like I'd play with like my mom, dad, and brother. It was so fun.
Yeah, the Wii was a family console. That's how it went.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how we used it, man.
but yeah,
Great, love it.
great game. But yeah, it's just still. I got a notification on my computer and I got scared. Usually, if I hear that sound, that means OBS disconnected from the Wi-Fi. Okay,
Dude, I know what
a
you mean.
jump scare moment.
I get
But
like a Java update, and I'm like, did my stream end?
yes, we live nearby. We have the same ISP. We have the same situation where it's too far away. So we understand perfectly the troubles of internet, like exactly 1 to 1. It's funny.
Yeah,
It's nice
classic
to have
Midwest.
someone that understands my daily struggle in life. So anyway, so you started when Simply got record and Aki got sub 15. So that's like 2020, right? Or am I messing up
Yeah,
my timeline?
that was around May 2020 when
Okay.
I turned 14.
Ah, youngster.
Yeah.
But so's everyone these days. I'm the old one, and I'm 24. Rip.
Yeah, I guess I could just like kind of tell the story. So
Hmm.
I really started speedrunning around like June, but I was like watching a lot in like May.
Hmm.
Um, and then around what what was it? Like September? I like got into this tournament or something, and I met Suiji and Scythemer. I don't know if you know who Scythemer is, but obviously you know who Suiji is.
Yeah.
And we started just like doing practice calls together, and we would do like
Mm.
races. And that was when we were both like terrible at the game. Um, well, he wasn't that bad. I was pretty shit. Uh,
What can you do?
and then wait, what'd you say?
I said, what can you do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it, Suiji, man?
Nothing you can do. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we met and then we like became friends, and then I kind of took a break. Suiji got really good. You know the story about Suiji, but I kind of like followed in his footsteps a bit. Like I was getting better like with him, but he was always like a little better than me. Um, but then I kind of really started getting better at the game around like mid 2021, when I switched to OEM, which is
Mm, yeah.
the classic
Look at that
three
thing.
prong OEM. We love it.
Yeah, I got to do my spins on that bitch. It's great. I love it.
Really, you don't got one of these, bro? You don't got a
No,
Hori?
I want one. I don't have one. Yeah,
I
it's a
could
big
sell you one.
sesh. Mm, there you go. I did recently get my Nintendo 64 modded, region free modded, so
Oh, sick!
I
Yeah.
can get the Japanese carts now and save some free time in 16. We love to see it.
Are you planning to run at all, or?
I mean, so I stopped when I got an 18 because I wanted to switch to Japanese cartridge before I did more 16. So that's why I like ran more 70 as of late because obviously that uses the US for optimal play.
Yeah,
So
that's understandable.
yeah, but yeah, I don't have a Hori and yeah, I don't have the Japanese cartridge. So those are the things I'm looking for now. But yeah, I shouldn't need to mod my Nintendo 64 ever again. I think I have it fully modded, RGB modded. It's got like
Well,
some
you have
custom light.
RGB?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, dude! I don't even have that.
It's great. I love it. But yeah, yeah, fully modded. It's the exact console color I like. It's the it's the blue one. Um, I don't know what they call that line, like Funtastic or something.
Yeah, I think they
You know
call
what I'm
them
talking about.
Funtastic. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I got the like light blue one, and there's a custom blue LED, region free. It's RGB modded. It's great, great console. I
I just
just
got
need the
the
Hori and the cartridges Japanese now.
hell yeah, dude. I just got the classic gray, and I
Hmm.
like region free modded it, and I just use S video with a
Yeah,
power splitter. That's all I
I
do.
mean
It's
S
sweet.
video looks really good. The only thing I hate about S video is like I think they call it like checkerboarding. Like there's like some pattern on still imagery.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird.
The biggest thing with that is the cord. Like you just have to
Yeah.
find like a good S video cord, and you won't have checkerboarding. But I don't know. You'll see runners. I think Punkay and Liam are like the ones that come to mind for me that have like
Hmm.
really bad checkerboarding, but
Yeah, definitely.
it's still watchable and it's
No,
fine, I
yeah,
guess.
a casual probably won't even notice, but I'm like a sucker for quality, so
Yeah, I get that. RGB just looks so good, dude.
oh, it's
I'll
so
click on Cali's stream and I'm like, holy shit.
oh yeah. And well, that's even better because he plays on monitor, right? With the retro tank.
Yeah,
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 the retro tank is an upscaler, so it's even better.
yeah.
I
Or
play
I
on
think he.
CRT, so
Oh, so you're not using like monitor or anything, and
no, I have a straight up CRT and I use component, so
so
yeah.
a big thing with like 64 runners right now is like most top runners use RetroTink, which is
Mm-hmm.
like pretty interesting because when I started, everyone was on CRT,
Mm-hmm.
and then like people started getting onto RetroTink, and now like most top runners are on it,
Yep.
like including myself. It's just, like it's pretty sick because monitor is fucking awesome. Like
It's so convenient, and that's what's good
it's
about it. There,
yeah,
I don't think it matters for 64, and I'll explain why. But when I go to GDQs, they'll have like RetroTank monitor setups, so I can like test it out. And there's like one frame of input lag, and that can like mess me up a bit. But I was thinking about it. That's on NES where it runs at 60. So if it runs at 30 and there's one frame of input lag, technically there's 0 frames. 30
I don't know,
FPS
maybe
mode,
I don't know how much,
technically.
or I don't really know how that works, but
Neither I'm like bullshitting my way through this explanation, and I'm sure I'm wrong, but I just think it's funny to think about it that way. But
I mean maybe you're right, but I don't know. I found like it doesn't really matter, and like CRT, I've tried it, and I get really bad headaches,
mm,
and I'm just like it's not worth it. I'm just gonna use monitor.
yeah, I mean that's fair. I remember at Pace, we were doing that like Mario Hour relay, and we had Suiji come by,
Yeah,
and he like had to practice on a CRT because that's all we had, and he was like, "It's so different." But then bro hits like DDD skip first try, so was it really that bad?
I mean he probably like felt it a bit, but I found like switching from different monitors or different controllers that like feel different after like 30 minutes or so, like maybe to an hour, you kind of get used to the timing, but you're still like pretty. It still like feels like shit, but you can kind of play on it. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. You've probably felt that.
Kind
It's
of. It depends. You see,
I,
what I struggle with is the amount of things I have to do are usually like multi-frame perfect bullshit in a 60 FPS game. So
yeah,
then it like matters a lot more than other things would in other games. So it's
yeah,
hard
that
for
makes
me to
sense.
relate because like the struggles I would have to deal with is like so much worse. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
I can definitely do it though. Like RetroTink monitor, I can do it. I did my GDQ run on it and it went really well, so I
what'd
can't
you get
complain.
in that
Oh,
or like in those, I
so
guess.
past GDQ I did the one-handed warpless run of Mario 1. And yeah, I just did the best warpless run ever performed on a GDQ stage. I did it with one hand. Everyone else did it with two. So, I did pretty well.
That's pretty
It
cracked,
was
man.
kind of insane. Like
What was your time?
1937.
Oh shit. God damn. That's like what, less than it's like 40 off record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 40,
Um,
30 off record? Something like
uh,
that.
20
I don't
seconds over
remember.
my one-handed record, and it was the third best one-handed warpless record ever performed in the history of the game.
Pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, so I can definitely play on monitor. I
Yeah,
guess it's a
yeah.
lot easier when you don't have to do a bunch of the frame perfect stuff, even though I did an FPG, so what I'm saying doesn't even matter. But yeah, like it's definitely a good solution. I love that the RetroTink doubles as an upscaler though. That's like the best part. So you can play a monitor and it's an upscaler, so it even looks better if you like capture it well.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, I haven't really used that part of it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The people that I've seen that use like RetroTink to Elgato,
Mm-hmm.
like it looks pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's so
but
nice.
I split to a capture card and then I split to my RetroTink and my RetroTink just goes straight to my monitor
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then capture card goes straight to my PC.
yeah. So you
So
can't get the
yeah,
yeah. That makes sense. I mean, when it
doesn't
comes to
upscale
like
it.
hardware connections and stuff, I get a little I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
Yeah, that's
um
fair.
yeah, I like not having to worry about it. So I just RGB on my consoles. I split it from TV to my capture card. Like it makes it a lot easier. I just can't upscale anything, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. Just normal uh RGB mods. So definitely not as good
Yeah,
as it could be with the upscaling that I don't have, but I mean, still pretty good. And then it on my
RGB is so
CRT, it
cool.
looks so nice. That's the important thing.
I
So
I don't know
crisp.
anything about CRTs. I just know they hurt my eyes and my
Yeah, I
head.
mean they don't hurt mine, so but
Do
yeah,
you know like why? Like do you know runners that it happens to, but they kind of
I
just power
don't.
through?
The only thing I can think of, and this doesn't apply to me, and this probably doesn't even apply to CRTs, but you know, people wear those glasses that uh
Yeah, the blue light glasses.
yeah, that are like orange tinted or whatever, and it's supposed to
Hmm.
help with headaches and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if that's just because of CRTs. I think that's for everything. That's the only thing I can think of. I've never heard of like someone getting headaches just from a CRT specifically. I've never had that issue, and I don't know anyone that's been the way. I don't think.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's so weird. Maybe my eyes are just they're just fucked up, man.
you
I don't know.
never know. You see, you'd hate my CRT then. It's a 27-incher, so it's a
Oh shit.
large boy. Yeah,
Yeah. I have a
massive.
uh yeah, I have a 27-inch monitor that I play on
Hmm.
and like even that feels a little clunky.
Yeah, but yeah, imagine that, but then it's as big in all directions. Like it's not flat. You know, CRTs are have an ass to them. So
I
you
like
know,
literally just wouldn't have room for it.
it it weighs like 150 pounds or something. It's
Is that real?
yeah, of course.
It's 150.
I'm pretty. It's
Holy.
over 100 at least. I don't know. I need two people to move it. That's why it sits on my desk and I never move it. But yeah, they are
Yeah, that's fair.
massive. Well, again, they don't have to be. Like I played on a CRT for a long time that was a lot smaller, but it was still like really heavy. And it was only like 17 inches or something. Is
Have you
that
seen
right?
those
I don't know.
what is it called? Is it called a PVM? The little tiny thing,
Yeah,
the
they
little
had one at
square?
a pace. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
where it's like
Bailey was playing
super
on that.
long, but it's like super
Yeah,
tiny screen. I don't.
it's so funny.
It is. I don't think I could do it. It's just too small. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
definitely couldn't play on it, but I think it's cool.
It's interesting, but it just seems like so unnecessary. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's no reason to have that.
Yeah, like
It's just a collector's item.
yeah. I don't understand it. I guess, but I mean it's funny. I'll give them that.
Yeah, we're balling.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we? 2021, right? When you started
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
cracked or something?
Yeah, 2021 I really started running. I got like 15. Uh and then
That
I
is really
think
fast to get a 15. Less than a year.
yeah, it was 9 months. It
God
was
damn,
like
man.
it was kind of like a joke to me and my friends because when I did it, I like tweeted out, I was like, I did it 9 months, which is like a million exclamation points.
Mhm.
So we all kind of joked about that for a while. But and then I had the infamous, the BLJ thing with we're finally landing in the background.
Oh, that tweet is a banger. I love it.
Yeah, that run was it was a 1311 fire C, which is like 15 like 2x pace, so just
Mm.
like sub 1530 pace.
Mhm.
Um and I got a 1552 and that was my PB for like 5 months after that, so it was like really sad
Oh, I,
cuz
I didn't know that that tweet was like a clip of your personal best. Wow.
yeah, that was a
Incredible.
PB, which is wild cuz I went from 1558 to 1552 and I was so far ahead of my PB. That run would have been top 10 if I
Mm.
clutched it out. Like,
God damn.
I don't know, it just sucks. But I ended up getting like 1524 later that year or something, like around like August. Um, and then that was kind of when people started to like think I was decent at the game, I think. Like that was when I started to get more like
Oh, that's when you're
recognition.
good. Okay.
Well, like
Mario 64 standards, man.
around 15, people were like, "Oh yeah, this guy's like he's a runner."
He
But he's not
exists,
like
one of the runners of all time.
yeah. And like most people would or most people still do this is just like they get 15, they're like, all right, I'm done with this category. I'm gonna go do something else because who wants to run 16? Uh
Fair enough.
but I ended up going further and I got like decent times and then I kind of took a break, like a really big break between like August and February. And I kind of
Damn.
started running in February again, just like off stream. And then I got 1512, and 1512 was like huge for me. It was eighth place at the time,
Damn.
and it like really put me like more into like the spotlight, I guess. Like
This is
people started,
February of 2022.
yeah,
Okay.
2022. Sorry,
Yeah.
uh,
Just want to make sure.
yeah. It was 2022, and that was like one of my most like proud PBs because I beat my PB by I think I had a 1522 before I beat that. So it was a 10-second PB, and I think I
Damn.
went from like 17th place to 8th. So I got
Jesus.
top 10, just like crazy. I couldn't believe I did it. I don't know. I still can't believe I did that. It was such a clutch run. Um,
That is massive.
but like after I did that, I took another huge break, and then in like May or something, I remember getting hit up by Milo, GSA guy, and he was like, "Hey yo, you want to come to Double Down in Las Vegas? We'll fly you out," which was like the craziest shit ever. I was like, "What the fuck? I am getting flown out to play Mario 64."
That is
Um,
pretty sick.
so I went to Double Down, and then I don't know if you've seen, but I PB'd at Double Down. I got a 1511 with like I don't know, it's so cool. There's like everyone behind me and like clutching out the throws. So fucking cool. With like a melee tournament behind me.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's
Uh,
that one.
doing that in real life was super sick. And then I had 1511 for a while, and then I had like a big grind in December of 2022, and I got 1508 and then 1500 after that. And that run, the 1500, was the first run of the day, and I uh I PB'd by 8 seconds and got ninth place, which is kind of funny that the 1512 was eighth and the 1500 was ninth.
That's how it
Uh,
goes.
but yeah, that's where we are now. I kind of took a big break. I've been practicing a lot, and now I'm back to runs.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, gonna get that 14. That's where I am right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of as close as you can be to 14,
Yeah,
so
I mean, only got one more second to go.
well, technically less. Like, what's your decimals at? Oh, there's the internet. Uno second. Let's see if I can get this back online quickly. Probably not. Oh boy. the classic on the channel. Hello again.
Yo, what's up?
Uh, I bet you can understand what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah. Certified Spectrum moment. Anyway, let me make sure the stream goes back online. At least we got Discord, so we got part 1 of 2.
Yeah,
Why is it
yeah, yeah.
giving me the alert twice? That's a new one. I'm aware it's disconnected. Thank you, OBS. You don't have to tell me twice, man. You see, first of all, I complain about my internet every episode, so running joke at this point, I guess, but I also have the amazing internet command.
It's a it's a really good it's a really good service provider
Oh yeah.
that is really funny.
Yeah, it's I'm laughing so hard right now. But anyway, I was gonna say what are your decimals on the 15 flat?
It's a point .9.
Oh,
So,
okay, never mind, but
yeah. It's a second.
quite literally. So there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah, as close as you can get seconds wise. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like eating away at me, man. I want it so bad.
I
I
mean,
I don't know if you saw, but I was grinding 120 for a bit because I wanted to learn the run so I could run 120.
mhm,
But it's just like in the back of my head, I'm like, I need the 14. I
yeah,
can't move on. I
mhm,
have to get it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm like the king of being as close as you can possibly be to like a barrier you want to hit and then never hitting it. So I understand. But yeah,
sucks.
like yeah, it does suck, but and especially that barrier. I feel like the 14 barrier is like or yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like everyone like struggles to really get
Yeah,
over that.
I can't think of one person. Actually, no, I can think of two people.
Hmm.
Zappy and Gamiru, Japanese runners, they both got it like very. I mean, I don't know how much they grinded, but Gamiru went from like 1509 to 1458.
Damn. All right.
Fucking crazy. And then Zappy went from like 1504 to 1457 or something. I don't remember his PB.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah,
I didn't realize
I
so
don't
many
know.
people had 14s.
Yeah, 10 people have 14s. I remember,
Goddamn.
I don't know. I remember I've been capable of 14 for so long that before GTM got 14, I remember being like, I could get the sixth 14.
Hmm.
And now we're at
Wait,
10, dude.
bro. Okay. So I have to relate a story here. What was it? 2018 to 2019. Um, so I don't know how much you know about Mario 1, like any percent.
Not too much.
Yeah. So back then, 456 was like the world record, but it was like or like it was just getting into the 455 range too. But like not a lot of people had a 456 or a better. So like imagine like the barrier to get a 14 is like the barrier to be getting a to get a 456 and 8%. So I remember when like 5 people had one, and then I was like a pretty quick improvement, like a pretty quick at improving runner in that category, and I had a run that would have gotten the sixth 456. I think you see where I'm going with this. So
Yeah.
I had a run to get the sixth 456. I made a mistake in 8-4, and then so it was like a very low 457, and then that was my PB for like 6 months. I just couldn't do it, even though I was like on pace to do it, and then I ended up being the 10th person. You see, it's funny
It's
how
so
this like
classic.
connects.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Hopefully I'll be the 11th, man.
Yeah.
But um I am I have one of the best SOBs right now. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, you have
I'm
like
like
low 3x, right?
yeah, I have 1432.7
Jesus
and
Christ.
I think Slip has point .3 and GTM has 0.2 or something, and then Ouija has like 29, and then Ouija has like 26.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I think I have fifth best or fourth best SOB. I think I don't know. I feel like if I get past this 14 barrier, I can go pretty far in 16.
Mhm.
I've had a few 4x paces. I like out of DDD even, and out of Fire Sea.
Damn.
So like I don't know. I have my like eyes on 4x at the moment, even though like I want 14, of course. Like my main goal is 14,
Yeah.
but long term, like 4x can happen, and uh like I don't know if you've ever like heard Squeegee talk about, or like people in the Mario community, like Mario 64 community, talk about streaks, and like it's like a big thing that's been like happening, and like it's like a big reason people have been improving so fast in my opinion, is like, you know, you'll pick a time and you'll do 1 star that time 10 times in a row, and you just build crazy consistency,
Mm.
because like it's almost like you're speedrunning a star, because you know, once you get 8 in a row, you're getting kind of nervous. But
Hmm.
once you can like get past that barrier on every star, like every star becomes so easy to do in a run, because you're like already doing that in practice. I don't know if that makes sense. But
Yeah, like making yourself get nervous, or
yeah,
like
yeah.
practicing nerves almost. It's
Yeah, it is
interesting.
kind of like that. Like I'll do bits 10 times in a row. And like I still haven't even gotten the streak that I want on bits, because like I'll get so nervous. But if I
Hmm.
just keep going at it, then when I'm actually nervous in on like crazy good like 14 pace, then I have like a higher chance of getting it, because I have experienced the nerves.
Interesting.
But it's like a big thing Sweegie has like kind of started. I don't know if he really started it, but uh he kind of made
Popularized it.
me do it.
Uh,
Yeah, because I mean we're like best friends. We've been friends forever. He and I kind of like asked him for help, and he like made me do that, and then I immediately got on 4x paces, like immediately after,
hmm.
and then I quit.
Well,
So I don't know. I have a lot of hope for my future in 16. Honestly,
yeah,
um,
it's crazy that no one else has gotten a 4x yet, because
I
so
know
many people are so capable of it. It's just crazy.
it is absurd. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've like seen but
Hmm.
first place is 1435, second place is 1450, and then second place to 11th, it's 1450, and then 11th is 1500. Like, dude,
Bruh,
what is going on?
I don't know.
We need to get 4x.
There's something about barriers, man, that just for some reason make things impossible. I don't know what it is.
It's a
Because
mental box, man.
I guess, but it's like almost subconscious mental block. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
it
weird.
is. Slip has been on so many paces, dude.
Yeah, like
Like he
he's like the
deserves that
best
shit.
example. He's been on like
It's just
hundreds, and it just can't happen for no reason, really. Like it's not like he can't do it. He
yeah, it's
very
just
much can.
nerves. It's just mental. Speedrunning is so mental.
I
Like
mean,
it's
yeah, it is.
absurd, dude. Like the game is I'd almost say like your mental is as important as your skill. Like
Yeah, I
at a
see
high
that.
level especially. I mean that's not like a hot take, but it's just it's such a crazy thing, and you don't realize it until you get to a point where mental matters in speedrunning.
Hmm.
Like I feel like if you first start, you kind of understand where you're like, yeah, I'm getting nervous on pace. But when you are grinding for hours and hours a day, you really start to learn how important it is. I don't know. I think you can probably relate. Like
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
when you're going for like hours at like a goal that not many people have done, it's so hard on your mind. like to keep
Oh
going.
yeah.
I don't know. It's difficult, man.
Yeah, there were some record grinds I've had that have just destroyed me so hard. And I didn't take mental health seriously until like last year or when did I start? Anyway, but like whew, it's a thing to worry about, that's for sure. It is
Yeah,
important. Uh I
mental.
I can confirm it is important. So,
And I think it's like a talent to be good at that
yeah, it's not
without.
easy at all. It is not easy.
Yeah, I the like people like Sweegie, especially. I keep talking about him, but I think
Yeah.
he's one of the greatest speedrunners in like that has ever touched the game because he grinds like no other, and he has a mindset where like you don't settle for not being the best, which is something like I've like tried to put in my head, but it's
Mhm.
so hard, you know? Like
Yeah.
being able to not settle for or being able to not settle for being not the best, I guess.
These are too many
It's a
negatives,
crazy
man.
skill. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say right now. But like
Fair enough.
being stubborn in learning, I think is extremely important and it's a
Mhm.
skill and it's a
Yeah.
talent because not everyone's built to fucking grind like that, man.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I think it's learnable. I think it's learnable, but
I've been having
difficult.
to learn dealing with not being the best anymore.
Yeah,
So,
that's difficult too, I'm sure.
because
Like,
some people just have way too much time and way too much dedication and are like an age where you can actually put in more time, and it's just like I just can't do that, and I have to accept that. It
yeah, I
is not a
mean,
thing.
I've felt that at like a probably lesser extent, but I've still felt it. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm only 17, but
Yeah.
I had two jobs for like a year or so, and like trying to just balance that with
Ugh.
school, with speedrunning,
No
and then
thanks.
like not being able to, I don't know, like seeing people get way better than you, and you feel like you can't do anything about it. Such a horrible feeling, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's how I felt the past like 3 years almost.
Yeah,
Just
it's depressing, but
it is, but
something you got to learn to deal
yeah,
with
you
and
have to,
cope with.
yeah, exactly. Like that's the whole mental thing. Like the only thing that makes you like depressed or mad or whatever about it is your mental. You can learn to just deal with it and then you'll just be a lot happier. And that's what matters in life.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a hobby, so
Yeah, like
why
you
should it make you feel like shit?
exactly. Now, I'm still not great at mental stuff. So
I mean,
I
yeah, same here, but
so I can't speak fully on the matter, I guess, but I mean, it's something to work on. It's something
yeah,
a lot of
dude.
top runners work on because it is extremely important. Just getting in the mindset that isn't fuck my life.
Yeah, have you heard about the? I mean, you've probably heard of it. The trying to remember the name. Oh, Inner Game of Tennis. You've heard of it, right?
uh that's
Or
like the
is that?
book. That's
Yeah,
like
it's a
the
book.
book, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the book.
The
It's the
book.
speedrunning book, man.
I understand. I understand. I
uh,
haven't read it or anything. I've never like went out looking for it, but yeah, I think I've heard it.
a lot of well, I mean, Simply is like the one who kind of talked about it a lot because he had really bad hand issues, I guess, and
Hmm.
he like read the book, did the things, meditated, and it just went away. He had like surgeries and it didn't go away. Like, I think that is like really telling how important it is. And if you read that book, like I've read like half of it or so, it has a
Hmm.
lot of like really important information. And I think a big thing is the difference between like self one and self two. I don't remember the selves, like I don't remember which one is which, but
Hmm.
basically one is like your your like muscle memory and the other is like your conscious mind. So like say you're fucking up and you're like, why do I keep fucking this up? I suck ass, right?
Hmm. That's me.
You're you're like talking to your inner self who is just going off of the muscle memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like a big thing they talk about in the book is looking at that, like instead of being mad at yourself, look at it like objectively. So be like, I I missed a firstie. That's okay because I'm not going to get a firstie every time. I
Mm-hmm.
can go practice it and get better at it, but I'm not going to get it every time, and that's okay. And I messed up. I can do it again. Like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thinking is like kind of what the book's about.
I see.
And I think it's like a really interesting way to look at the like speedrunning and improving at anything in general.
Mm.
I think it's a good read.
Yeah, you're kind of selling me on it. I think that because yeah, I feel like I still like still to this day, no matter how much I've like tried to work on it, I still suffer a lot of the negativity that people don't like. Like that's like bad for speedrunning and all or anything. But so
uh,
I'm like trying to
I
think.
mean,
It's hard to put into words like what I'm trying to
yeah, I think
say,
I know
but
what you mean.
yeah.
It's like I don't know if this is exactly what you mean, but being like you can kind of be aware of what you're doing. So like you can be like, I suck ass, and then
Mm-hmm.
think to yourself, I probably shouldn't do that. That's probably not
Mm-hmm.
smart for my mental.
Yeah.
But you're still gonna do it next time
Yes.
you fucking mess up. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're still gonna do it.
That's
So
me.
like
Yep.
reading the book and knowing that isn't gonna change much, but knowing that and I think being self-aware can like lead to changes, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Like
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think you also need to work on it. Like I have not put enough effort into working on that to like say I'm an expert, but uh I've read I've read a bit of it and I think it's super interesting. I think you should read it for sure. And I think
Okay.
anyone who wants to improve at anything ever should read it. I think it's super good.
Yeah. That. Yeah. You're selling me on it for sure. Because I'll have like a streak of messing up one thing over and over. And I feel like once you start messing it up over and over, like you will never get it right again because I'll get into the mindset like, why can't I hit this? Why am I so bad? And then it just escalates forever. Like, and then you just never do it.
Yeah, that's like a huge part of that mindset is
Mm-hmm.
like it's literally going like you know this. Like everyone knows this like in their head that like the more negative you are, the worse the run's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing what to do instead of that and how to do something instead of that is so fucking hard. Like it is so
Yes.
difficult. Like
Yeah.
in the moment when you are just so mad at yourself for fucking up, it's so hard to be like, you know what, I can do that again. Like,
Oh, dude.
how are you gonna do that, man? But if you can ever get to that point, that's when you really can take a step back from the game and improve, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like get extremely good at speedrunning.
Interesting.
But I've never done that. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that's true. But I think in theory, if you were to do that and master that, you would have a very strong mental in speedrunning.
Mm-hmm.
And your skill obviously would matter, but having that strong of a mental, I think can carry you pretty far. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be wrong, but
No, I mean it makes sense. Um, like I think I still have this command, like PMA, like stay positive. Like yeah, I still have the meme in here where I have anime,
yeah.
because that is my personality essentially. Is I am the negative one, and I'm sure that has not helped me ever in my history of this shit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just remembering right now, like, I was doing runs today, and I like went into Womps, and like I've missed a star select by like I don't know, maybe like 20 frames, which is pretty fucking slow, but it's like the run's
Yeah.
still alive, of course. And I'm like, dude, that's the easiest input ever. How the fuck do you mess that up? And then I miss Alice. Like, what I think was gonna happen. It's 20 frames. I just need to get the fuck over it, right? But
Yeah.
that's hard to do. And
Yeah. Here's
I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, I know you said you haven't read the whole thing, but was there anything about like not worrying about things coming up, because that's also something.
Kind of. I think it wasn't really a main focus, but one of
Mm-hmm.
the things in the book was, or I guess I'll talk about what the book is about real
Yeah.
quick because then it'll make more sense. So the main guy who wrote the book is like a tennis instructor, and he is pretty much talking, like, at the beginning of the book, he's talking about all these experiences with learning how to teach people, and he noticed like people would come to him for help, and he's just like, he like shows them how to do it, and then they do it, and he's like, "You're doing this wrong," and then they do it, and then he's like, "Okay, you're doing this wrong," and then they're like getting upset at themselves, and they're like, "Fuck, fuck, fuck," and he found that literally showing someone a video or like making someone go in front of a mirror, that was something he used, and seeing what they're doing wrong, and then correcting it themselves instead of being berated by someone else and like feeling like shit about it.
Mm-hmm.
So like looking at it objectively by looking at it in the mirror
Mm-hmm.
made them learn more than looking at themselves critically, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, so he had these people swing their tennis racket in front of a mirror instead of in front of him, and they learned more from looking at themselves than from someone else looking at it. And I
Hmm.
think looking at him as your other self is kind of what I'm trying to get at. So like, say your other self is getting mad at yourself that knows what it's doing, if that makes sense. So
Hmm.
like, if you're mad at your muscle memory for messing up,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get as much done if you say are okay with that and look back at it and say, this is what I did wrong. I'm just going to do it right next time. I'm going to practice it. This will go better. And there's no reason to get mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck. I don't know if that came across right,
Mm-hmm.
but it is such a good point that he made, and it's the same thing for learning. Like watching yourself do something, and then you're like, and then you watch someone else do it, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing wrong. I can just fix that, and you don't get mad at yourself. You just learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does, because all related to something I've been doing recently is, if I like fuck up a lot of things on a stream, what I've started doing now is I'll watch my stream back to like places I fucked up and really like try to see like, okay, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Or like, so, and that's actually helped me improve a couple of things. Um but I started it because I was like, I swear my input's just not registering. Like, what's going on? And then I'd look and like really see if that was the issue or not, because like in the moment it can be hard to tell, but like on rare occasions it could be, but like if it's something that just keeps happening, that's probably you. So it's like, okay, what input am I doing early or late? Okay, and then you can fix it that way.
Yeah,
So that's like looking back at yourself and what you were doing wrong. So I
yeah,
think that's kind of similar, right?
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. You're exactly right. Like
Okay.
that's what I was trying to get at is like looking at yourself objectively is always going to be better than like being mad at yourself
Mm-hmm.
and making like super critical things. And he even talked about, which I don't know how much I've felt this, but looking at yourself positively as well can mess you up.
Mm,
So
fascinating.
so if you do something really well, so say I nail Salt Kless
Yeah.
in Womp's Fortress, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fast. Like my castle movement, I know like if I get a good Alice, I get a good Wild Blue, this is golding for sure because it's so fast.
Mm.
All I'm thinking of is this can gold. This is so fast, and you fuck yourself up.
Yeah,
So
like
like
you make yourself nervous almost.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so instead, if you look at it and you say, that was how I practiced it. This is how it should be going. I am going to do the next stars how it should be going.
Hmm.
Looking at it objectively, you're not going to make yourself nervous. You're going to have a higher chance of doing it. And you might fuck up because
Hmm.
everyone fucks up.
Oh yeah.
but if you like, you have a higher percent chance to do it correctly and have less nerves if you look at it objectively than critically.
Hmm. Okay.
I don't know if you felt that though.
Um, no, I know what you're talking about, definitely, but hearing all this, it just seems like it'd be so hard, like for me personally, to like think this way, almost. So I
Yeah,
really feel like I need to read this thing.
you should,
Yeah,
dude. His analogies and the way he explains things, I think, is so interesting. And like, you don't even have to like immediately try to implement it. Just hearing the things and learning
yeah,
is never
it's
a
something
bad
you'd
thing.
have to develop. It's not just like
Yeah,
a switch where it's like, oh, like
and
no,
like,
mental isn't that easy. How I wish it was, but it's not.
yeah, I
That's why
wish it
I've been
was
in
easy.
therapy for like 2 years.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
not easy, man.
I get that, man. I it's it's crazy how important it is, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it is so important, and that's what I like to tell people. Like starting like thinking about or like working on like mental stuff has like almost just changed my life. Not like I was nothing bad, but just like now I'm so much more social in like event situations, like speedrun events. I remember like the first GDQs I went to, I would sit in a corner and not talk to very many people, and now I will like go to parties and stuff. Like that's such a drastic change. That's like a major positive in my life. And that's because I
dude,
started working on mental stuff. Like it's important. If it's
mental
important
is
to
an
you, it's yeah.
yeah, it's important in literally every aspect
Hmm.
of your life. Like,
Yeah.
I had like a very similar journey, I guess, as you. Like, I mean, last year I was fucking sad, didn't want to work, didn't want to do anything, didn't even want to go to events. And
Hmm.
then, I mean, I started doing therapy, taking meds, and
Hmm.
literally just everything became easier.
Yeah.
I started being more positive about myself, which made me it easier to talk more to people, to start more conversations, to have confidence to fucking talk to the drive-through worker, man. Like, it
No, yeah,
it's like
yeah,
even small things like that. Like, I used to get nervous to talk to anyone. Now I'm just like, this is just an interaction, man.
yeah.
Which is a mental thing
Yeah.
somehow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I used to work in fast food, and I remember I told them like I cannot be the one that's like in the drive-through is like, "Hi, welcome to whatever." Can I? Yeah, I
Uh,
just couldn't do that. And like I used to, so like if I'm gonna upload a speed run to YouTube, I would remove the like voice audio from the YouTube upload. Like
yeah,
I was messed up, man. And now I'm doing interviews with a face cam. Like that's such a
yeah.
drastic change.
That's a big change. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
So
good.
it's crazy just how important and how life changing it can really be when you get into it. But yeah, I feel like we're essentially the same person because yeah, therapy and meds for me too really helped, and
From
all
the
this other like
Midwest,
random shit,
bad internet,
bad internet,
sad, speedrunner,
Midwest
washed. Just kidding. You're not
washed.
washed.
Oh, I'm so washed. You have no idea, but yeah,
um,
it's funny.
yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
wild. It's wild. It's crazy how like similar our stories are, but yeah, I don't know. Speedrunning, I've noticed it also has given me more confidence at
Oh my
improving
God,
at
yeah.
things. Like,
Well, I wouldn't say help me with like improving at things. It helped my confidence just in general, like my confidence to talk to someone or try to do something. But
yeah,
I
that's
haven't fully
awesome.
gotten to like the it makes me want to do and improve at this yet or something. But yeah, like again, if I wasn't like streaming, I probably would like I did a GDQ run. I could never do
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that if it wasn't not just for speedrunning because of a speedrun thing, but like in school if you had to give like a presentation to the class or something. I couldn't fucking do that shit. And
Yeah, dude.
because of like streaming and doing stuff like that, now I can. Like now I feel like I could.
I know exactly what you mean. Like, I mean, I'm still in high school,
Yeah.
so I kind of had it. I kind of like saw it like straight up. Like, my sophomore or freshman year, I was like, ain't no way I'm going in front of a class. And
Ain't
now
no
I'm like,
way.
fucking, I don't give a shit, man. No one's gonna remember this. Like, I don't
It's
care.
true.
I just don't care anymore, which is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, that is
Like, I
good.
can't believe I can do that now.
Yeah.
Such a good step.
Yeah.
I guess mental maturity.
Yeah, it sucks that I started so late because
Yeah,
when I started
but
speedrunning, I was just getting into college. Like it was right before I started freshman year of college. And then I didn't like start, meds therapy, all that stuff, uh until after college. So I never really got to see if it really helped me in that sense because um what's the timeline? Uh God, I don't know. It's hard to remember how things went, but yeah, like I didn't start using a face cam, for example, until like was it even this year? I don't know. I don't know when I bought my camera, but like it's I've been streaming for almost 6 years, and I just added a face cam recently. Like it's crazy how long it takes sometimes.
yeah, it's hard to build that confidence. Like I use Facecam sometimes, but like lately I've kind of just been like, I don't know. I feel like streaming without Facecam sometimes feels less like intrusive.
Yeah.
It's not even really because I don't want to. I feel more like chill, you know.
Mm,
But I think using Facecam is cool. I think it's fun to watch too, like especially as a viewer. Like I think it helps the viewing experience for sure.
yeah, like I'm saying this based off of my personal experience where it was like I didn't use it because I just didn't want to. It made me uncomfortable. And
Yeah, yeah,
now I don't have that anymore. It took a while, but yeah, now I don't feel that way anymore because started working on mental stuff and I was like, you know what? Why do I care?
yeah, dude. That's fucking
I'm the
awesome.
only one who cares. So,
It's
and then
true.
adding voice into YouTube again took like someone telling me like, why do you do that? Like, and I was just like, you know what? Why do I do that?
Yeah, man. There's no reason, but like it kind of sometimes will take someone to be like,
hmm
dude, no one cares.
Yeah,
just
the,
just
the
leave your
most
voice
important
in.
thing for like mental health journeys is someone else telling you about theirs and how it
Dude,
impacted them. That's really what I've learned.
I I mean, I'm sure you can relate, but
hmm
like a big thing when I was really struggling that I like literally would like fix it for like temporarily, but like without fail would fix it every time. It's just talking to one of my friends or my
Mm,
parents. Like I would
yeah.
just be like, "Hey mom, this is what's wrong." And she doesn't even have to tell me anything. I'm just like, "This is what's wrong. This is what's happening." And she's like, "I understand. I love you." And then I just feel better. I just
Yeah,
feel
I
better.
mean, yeah. Same. Like again, same. Like exactly. Yeah, like
It's wild how much that can help.
yeah, and that's not even what I was talking about, but yeah, that just makes you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
better, which
Sorry.
is good.
Yeah.
But no, but like yeah, I think like someone else being open about their mental stuff can really like just help you with your mental stuff.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
yeah, like
I have
hearing
a
someone
couple people
else.
I could name that like really help me. I won't because
Yeah, that's fair.
why would I do that? But yeah, like it really just does help. So yeah, I think it's extremely important, and that's what I like to talk about nowadays. If brought up,
Yeah,
like
dude,
yeah,
hell
and
yeah.
I'm not even like done yet. Like I still am super negative.
Yeah, but like the thing with improving is like
Oh, it
that's
takes a long
okay,
time.
right?
Yeah,
Like
it
you're
takes
gonna
a long
improve.
ass time, and I'm aware of that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, like,
Dude,
but
yeah, fuck
I've
yeah, that's
noticed
awesome.
improvement, and that's good.
Hmm.
Like it's again, it's not going to be a flip a switch and it's like oh, but it's going to be like it's the grind set,
Yeah,
the
dude.
mental
It's
grind
the
set.
grind set. You just gotta keep going.
Yeah, the mental grind set as you do.
I
You
wonder,
can't speed run the mental. You got to do the long play, unfortunately. But
Yeah, dude, you gotta take the long route.
Mm-hmm.
Can't can't do that shit. But it's hard to not like skip out on shit with mental. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll be like, nah, I don't need to. I don't know. I don't need to eat any food right now. Like even simple things like that, like taking care of yourself.
Oh,
Sometimes you're just like, I don't even need to do that right now.
I only eat dinner. Is that bad? Uh-oh.
Yeah, that actually. Well, I don't know. It kind of depends, but I found it helps to eat all the meals because then I don't gorge myself.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair, but mhm.
'Cause, like eating like a lot of big meals instead of like one insanely big meal, I found is like better
Interesting.
because like I'll eat like
Well, I
I'll
won't
try to
gorge
eat like
myself in one meal either. Like, I just don't eat a lot usually. I'll eat unhealthy, but like, not a
okay,
lot of
yeah,
unhealthy.
that's probably not that bad then. But like
Okay,
what I would
I was gonna say
do
that's
is
like my
like
secret to weight loss. Even though I just, I'm lucky with something. Like, I eat like shit, and I'm 160. I don't understand it. I'm 6'2", by the way.
by the way, yeah.
Yeah, like
I
it doesn't make sense. I'm an anomaly, but and I always feel bad about it, but I don't know. So,
yeah, I got you. I've always I'll get into like these habits where I don't eat any meals and then the one meal I do eat, like I'll think I'm not hungry and then I'll eat something and then I'm like, fuck, I could eat 80 more of these. And then I just do. So like
well,
I'll like find some like granola bars or something and I'm like, I'll have one of these. And then I'll eat it and then I'm just so hungry that I
I'll
can't
have
stop.
6 of these.
Yeah, it's literally like that.
Hmm.
And I found if I eat a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I eat the breakfast and I'm like, I'll eat later. And then I eat later. I'm like, I'll eat later. And then I have three normal meals, and
Hmm.
it's good for me. But
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't know. That's an interesting thing with weight loss. Like
Yeah.
people's bodies are different, and like stuff
I've never
works
needed to
differently.
really worry about weight loss, so I've never really like looked into it, but I mean,
I
there could be like a mental aspect or like just a genuine health aspect besides weight that could, I don't know,
oh
you could
yeah,
benefit from it. So
there
that's the other.
100% is.
Yeah,
Like
so that's
uh
probably where I'm fucking
I
something
mean,
up.
yeah, this isn't even speedrun anymore, but like I do want to talk about this. So
Yeah.
I mean with weight loss, like I mean, probably one of the worst things you can do is starve yourself. I don't know
Mm.
if you knew that, but
I've heard like straight up like removing everything. Yeah, that's bad. I don't do that, but
okay, yeah, yeah. But like some people will be like, well, do you know about like fad diets, like keto? Keto's not really a
yeah,
fad diet, but like
again,
all
I've
those
I've
stupid
never
ones
like
that are
looked
like,
into weight loss because I've never really needed it, but
okay, yeah, that's fair.
like
But
I've heard
like,
of things,
I don't
obviously.
know, like bigger people who are like obviously trying to like improve themselves will find these like diets online that are like a big thing with these diets is bounce back,
Mm-hmm.
where they'll lose the weight, they'll gain it all back and more, and then they're just like in a worse position
Yeah.
because of where that put them mentally, where that made them feel like because when you're that big, when you're like a big person, like this isn't supposed to be mean, of course,
Yeah.
you have to have a certain calorie upkeep, and if you're not eating that, you're gonna feel like ass every day. You're just gonna feel
Yeah.
so shit, and that fucks your mental. It fucks everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like, big thing with weight loss is don't fucking starve yourself. You gotta eat food. You gotta get calorie upkeep,
Yeah.
and it is all mental. It's all mental too.
Yeah.
Weight loss, same thing. Mental. You have to learn about yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
so important. It's just like speedrunning, dude.
Yeah.
Weight loss is like speedrunning. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research on it. I think it's really interesting.
It's like speed running. You gotta grind to get the lower number.
Dude, exactly. You
God,
gotta
wow, they
grind.
are the same fucking thing. Insane. But
Same thing, dude. It's 50% mental. You got to get a lower number, and it's all gradual, man. It's the same thing.
damn. the best analogy I've ever heard right here. uh,
um,
I mean, it's all interesting though. Yeah, like to think about it that way. Hmm.
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
the the mind is a crazy thing,
oh my
genuinely.
god. Yeah.
I That's why I really want to go to college and like learn about it. That's like the only thing I want to do if I go to college.
Oh,
Just
you
learn about
like you
that.
want to go into psychology type
Yeah,
deals?
yeah.
Yeah, I took psychology class in high school. It was interesting. It wasn't something I like wanted to do with my life or anything, but it was an interesting class. I definitely
I
remember it.
I just took a psychology class actually. I took a psychology and sociology class in high school.
Mm.
They were like dual credit college classes, whatever the fuck.
Ooh.
But I've cheated in it.
Oh, well, okay.
I didn't really try, but like I know like school bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
I would love to just go into like a profession where I think about this and I teach people about it and I learn more about it every day. Like that is so like appealing, you know?
Yeah. I
Like
mean that's good. That's what you
uh
want out of a career. You want to feel that way about what you're like.
yeah, I think if like speedrunning or anything like doesn't work out, which it probably won't,
Yeah,
which
I
is
mean,
fine.
yeah.
Uh uh I want to do something with that because that's like a big part of the reason I speedrun is just like learning about myself, learning about the game, learning about people, learning about just learning, you know? It's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I do this show, right? I like learning about
Yeah,
people's stuff.
learn about yeah, learn
So,
about different people.
yeah,
Sick, dude.
I'm in the unfortunate situation where what I've learned about myself and all of this is like, this is what I want to do with my life, and it is super
Yeah.
unsustainable. So it's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
fuck. Now what do I do? And that's its whole other mental thing I won't get into. But it's like, yeah, that again, that's why it's so important.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Well, like kinda, I guess.
yeah.
I don't know if I can
You
relate
understand what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I always feel like such a bitch when I like complain about like work and school because like when I really think about it, it's not that much.
Hmm.
But having this hobby with like a dreams makes it so much harder.
Hmm.
I wonder if you felt that because it's yeah, I'm not working that much, I'm not going to school that much, uh, but the dream or whatever is where I want to put all of my passion
Hmm.
and all of my time, but it's just straight up impossible. Like that
Yeah.
sucks so much.
Yeah. This is what I've been putting all of my time into, and I still could put more. Like sometimes I feel like I'm lazy with some things, like just,
Yeah,
oh, this is a lot of work. I don't want to do it, whatever. But I've been unemployed for over a year. I've been out of school for a while now. Like, yeah, it's not sustainable. I can tell you that much.
dude.
It doesn't help that I keep
Ugh.
spending a bunch of money going to speedrunning events, but it's just too fun. I can't help it.
Dude,
I'm
it's so
addicted.
fun.
Addicted to the
It's,
speedrunning events.
the speedrunning community is such a fun place to be around.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's just it's like the most welcoming, nicest, most interesting, varied group of people. Like it's like what you wish the world was, almost.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've I think that was like what made me really stick with Mario 64 was like I mean I joined the community and immediately it was just like friends. I just had like a billion
Hmm.
more friends
Yeah, I mean,
and
yeah.
we were all just having more fun than
Hmm.
I ever have had. It's like why would I ever stop?
Yeah, I mean,
This is so much fun.
I talk to people online through speedrunning a lot more than I do like the friends I went to high school, middle school, college with.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like I find that all of my Mario friends are way better. Like I would prefer to talk to my Mario friends than
Hmm.
like most people IRL. But
Yeah,
I mean, that
same.
doesn't really help. I live in southern Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere too.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
out of the like hundreds upon hundreds of people I know, you're probably the person that lives the closest to me,
yeah, dude.
which is fun because just no one's here. And you know what? Based, I understand, but like that's why you got to go to the events because no one's coming to you, not in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
I like. I wish some people like. I want Squeegee to come to Missouri because I
Okay.
think. No. Listen.
Okay.
Not for like
Okay.
forever. I want him to like visit my house
Well, yeah, I
because
figured that's what you meant.
I think it's like I think it's cool to travel where I live because you kind of if you don't have to deal with the traffic and you don't got to deal with the fucking pieces of shit and you're just like hanging out in the lake or whatever and like going to random old people shows, like I think that's fun. I think that part of it's fun. But living here, dog shit. Don't live in Missouri.
Oh, well, yeah. Uh, don't live in Illinois either, but
Yeah, dude.
so understandable. But yeah, like again, it's just hard for, and that's the other thing. Like, it's hard to if you just want to visit one friend from like the Spanish community. Oh, you'd have to
Yeah,
like board a plane and go across the country or to a different country or something. Like it's just like
yeah.
essentially impossible. Or unless you like happen
Spend
to live in a city where other people also live, but like that doesn't happen frequently. So again, that's why you go to the events all the time. At least why I do. Like I want to hang out with these people, and this is the only chance I could possibly do it. So I have to do it. Essentially,
yeah, it's
it's just making
I
me
don't know.
broke, but worth honestly.
It is, dude. It feels worth. You want to talk about like future in speedrunning? Like
Sure, man.
what is what is left? What can happen? You know. Uh,
Sure, why not?
I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because
Yeah.
I don't know, a lot of mental stuff that I've been like thinking about with Mario
Hmm.
and just like if it's worth it to keep pursuing. But
Yeah.
I wonder how much life 64 has in it because
Hmm.
you know 16 is to the point where there's one person who can get world record,
Well,
maybe.
yeah.
Uh, there in 70, it's very theoretically possible that a 45 could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Ouija was like on 1x pace yesterday,
Yeah,
right? So yeah.
which like after 45, like what's after 45, man? Like that's such a good time, and like no one right now except for Ouija and Squeegee, I think could get that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, and right now that would take a huge grind still, and I don't think it will happen for a very
Hmm.
long time. But it could, and the fact that there's only two people that could do it makes me feel really scared for the future, kind of. 'Cause I feel like some people just aren't optimal enough to beat some of these runners because of like talent or something or like time. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like it's weird to think about. And like 120 as well. Like we might see a 136 soon. Like very possible.
Hmm.
136. It's like how much time we got left to save, man? Like there's frames, of course. Like there's always gonna be frames. Like SMB1 shows it, but
Yeah.
who's gonna want to do that? Like if no one wants to spend every moment of their life beating a almost unbeatable record, like the game's just over.
Well, there's
It's
always going to be someone.
yeah, it's
Mario 64 is lucky to be in a position that it's like so popular. So not only does it have so many people always playing it, but there's so many people that always want to watch it. So it's like almost sustainable for some people.
I
And
know what you're
then
saying.
yeah, so I think Mario 64 is in a position where it won't die. It just can't. It's too big, I guess.
I like I agree, but I think that at a point it's gonna like get so boring at each in each category at a top level that it's not going to be fun to watch because you're not going to get on runs often.
Mm,
It's not going to be as exciting. It's it's going to be like a second world record every time instead of like the fucking crazy world records we see right now,
yeah.
which obviously people will still want to watch it. Just I don't think as many, and I worry about the future of it.
I guess. I mean, I talked about it a little bit. Cheese. I mean, you see it now. Like Siglimic would pull 5-digit viewers back
Yeah,
then, and Twitch was so small back then. And yeah,
yeah,
like
like
part of it's a lot more spread out now. But like, no one's getting that amount of viewers speedrunning Mario 64. No one. Not even like the large streamers that just do it for fun. Like, it just doesn't happen
yeah,
anymore.
it's true. It's scary to think about, man.
Yeah, I just I believe it will never truly just die though.
I don't think it'll ever truly die, but I think it will get to the point that maybe one top runner will be able to do it full time, or like
Yeah,
maybe like two or three. And I think the smartest option if you are a top runner that speedruns is to try to move away from it and do more content stuff. Like I think
yeah.
that is generally the smartest to do
I
because the
do
game,
also believe. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I do believe that you cannot like make a living just doing traditional speedrunning anymore. You used to, like that was early 2010s. You can't do that anymore. It's there's just too many people doing the same thing. You're
yeah,
at speedrunning is so popular now that it's unoriginal to speedrun. You even if you're like getting world records, you just can't make a living off of that without doing something else. That is true.
yeah,
So
sucks to
because
think about.
yeah, like all the people I know that would have gone full time like are because they became content creators on YouTube or
Uh-huh.
something and they used to not be. Like, yeah, that's just how it is nowadays. Now, what's cool about that is what I keep hearing is like speedrun content, you can never have too much of that. Like
That's
people
true. Yeah.
people eat that shit up and there's so many different topics in that specific genre that it'll like you'll never run out of ideas. So, if you want to do it, like you can. You very much can. But yeah, just traditional like streaming your speedruns, yeah, that's just not going to do it. I mean, I can tell you, I've my world record count is what now, like 179, and that's in Super Mario Brothers. Like, whoa, the game. I don't. I get like 20 viewers,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
like it's
fine. I'm
just
not complaining. It's just proving my point that you just can't like do well on Twitch doing traditional speedrunning anymore. It's just not a thing. And you used to be able to. But yeah, that is definitely a thing I've noticed. And you think about the future and like, yeah, it's just gonna keep getting worse, but I don't think like traditional speedrunning will ever die either. There will always be people that care enough about it. Because
yeah, yeah,
again, you're also not doing this just to make a living or whatever. It's a hobby, first
yeah,
and
of
foremost,
course.
which is the
But
important thing to remember.
most like the reason I think about it that way is like if people can do it as a living, like times and everything will be much easier to achieve.
It is true,
And
yeah.
if right now like like Suiji has the most time he will ever have right now
Hmm.
because he's 18, doesn't have to work, he's full time streaming.
Hmm.
If no one else ever has that opportunity, I don't understand how anyone could beat him because
Yeah.
he has more time than everyone. He's had more experience than anyone who has just started or will start.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I'm just so worried about it. But
Yeah, I mean,
I think it will. I don't think it'll ever die. I don't think it will
no.
ever die. I just think it'll get to the point where it is only out of the love of the game. Well, okay,
Yeah.
it still is the love of the game,
Well, yeah.
but it's
I know what you're saying.
only like you have to fucking sink every moment of your free time into it.
Hmm.
Like, dude.
Yeah, like The best runners of games I know, yeah, like practice 15 hours a day and are young and have the time to do that. It's just like no one can compete with that. It's impossible. And no
Yeah,
one is on the level of those people. Like it's just impossible, really,
unless they're full time.
unless they're full time, but yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, what I
that's
mean
not
by
all.
that
But
is like most of those people are like kids that don't need jobs and stuff. So
yeah,
they're still
yeah,
at
yeah.
school and everything. So they have that time. They're essentially full
True.
time without being full time. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I see what you mean.
So yeah,
Ugh.
that is a good point. Like the tournaments and stuff. That like is like the next thing, I guess. Because I mean, you know firsthand. You've been in all these 16-star event stuff. Like
Yeah.
those have some
Uh,
pretty nice prize pools, I'd say. If that keeps
yeah,
becoming larger and you get enough people that are good enough and consistent enough that because it's like melee, right? The top level players are so good. Well, I guess melee's a bad example because prize pools for melee are usually shit, but it's something like that where it could be more and like speedrunning after that. Again, like you're part of like the start of that with like the 16 events that they did.
yeah. I mean, I really don't know too much about like the future if they're even going to do more 16 like
Mhm.
IRL events. But I mean, it is extremely fun. But I don't think it's worth it for GSA, especially for like
Yeah, I
16 and
mean,
70. And I think that's why they keep doing 120 events because the only way to make it sustainable. I haven't talked to Milo, by the way. I
yeah.
don't know if this is fully true, but this is what I assume. The only way to make it sustainable and to have these events all the time is to run the categories that bring in the viewers, bring in the
Mhm.
most popular people, because it's just the only way. And like, you're not going to get as many people to care about fucking 16 star as
Yeah.
120. And then like, why would the only speedrun association choose the less popular category?
Mhm.
So like, I'm scared for 16's future,
Yeah.
especially with online events. Like offline events. I don't think many will happen, but if they do, obviously I'll go. But uh,
Yeah, I mean
I'm
that is
worried.
why GSA only did Mario Maker 2 and Mario 64 for 4 years, I guess. Yeah.
Yep, that's what brings it in, man.
Yeah,
It's the smartest thing to do for sure.
but I also think specifically on this topic, I think there's an aspect of if you're only going to do those games, obviously you're going to get the same viewers that like watching that. But if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do other games, you have the potential to bring in new people and then
yeah. That's true.
so there has to be like a you can't just do the same thing. There has to be some sort of balance that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
mean, I think Pace is pretty dope for that. Like they do
Yes, like
multiple
yeah,
LTAs.
exactly. That's
I
like
think Pace is super sick.
the best example of what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
But
Uh,
I don't think it's reached its full potential yet with like how that works, like the formatting.
yeah, I
Because
agree. I
you
think
know
it
it's
can
still
go
half
better.
64.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you could have a different game LTA every day. I think that'd
it's
be
true.
cool. And
But I think the reason they want to do half 64 is because it's like their roots and like it's the
I
most
mean,
popular
yeah,
game easily.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Okay, okay. I thought you
I'm
were
just
okay. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I'm
I
just
got you.
saying like, you know,
Yeah, I don't know.
there's
It's
the potential for more, I guess. For more variety and still getting a good viewer base if you do it a certain way. Like I don't even
yeah, yeah,
I'm not an expert. I don't know that way, but like there's got to be a way. And I think they're on the right track to keep growing that. And then that could be more beneficial, like more tournaments, more communities, more speedrunners getting money through tournaments to help out with, that whole thing and
yeah,
make it more motivating to push things. And then that could be how it lives on a little easier if you can't just,
yeah, for
stream normal
sure.
attempts and then, you know,
Yeah,
that's like the point I'm getting at, I guess, if that makes
yeah, I
sense.
see the point you're getting at. I think like another thing that could maybe like save it, I guess, even though it's not really
Save
like
it.
dying at the moment, but
Oh God, no.
just getting more sponsors. Like I worry about that
Hmm.
too. Like for GSA to run, they need sponsors, and
Yeah.
who knows how long they're gonna have the ability to get them.
Well, there's always gonna be sponsors. You know.
But like, I
Yeah.
don't know. How many people want to, or how many companies want to sponsor a speedrunning event? I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe a lot of people do, and I'm just fucking negative Nancy. But
I mean,
uh,
I couldn't tell you the answers either, so I'll just
it'd be
shut up.
interesting
But
to talk
like,
to Milo. I wonder if you could get him on.
well, I had Cheese
Uh,
on, but I don't think Cheese does a lot of the
yeah, I think he's just
that
one
stuff.
of the guys.
One of the guys, but um, well, he did talk about how they got in contact with, was it VG Boot Camp or whatever,
Yeah, yeah, VGBC. Yeah,
and how they gave him the Xanadu uh place, and then like, here, we'll sponsor it and we'll give you this place to do it. And it's like, oh, well, that works out.
yeah. I mean, if Melee and VGBC did not exist, we wouldn't be
Pace would not
going to
exist.
events.
Yeah.
Pace wouldn't exist. Double Down wouldn't have existed.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking when I went to Maryland in September, it wouldn't have existed. Like literally everything that I've done with speedrunning, like outside of online stuff, like wouldn't exist, which is kind
Yeah,
of
it'd all
wild.
be
VGBC
online.
is
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's
Uh,
good, but that's like one sponsor example, I guess, that I have at least heard of. I don't know all the other stuff, but like,
I
there are
just
definitely
realized
things
if like
that care.
what happened to Summit beyond the
Yeah.
Summit happens to VGBC, we are so fucked.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just won't have a venue anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could worry about the future forever. I mean, that's all I do,
That's
but
true.
like in a
That's
more
true.
lively thing. But at the end of the day, what's important is right now, like, everything is fine, and that's good.
That's true. We gotta be positive about the future, I guess.
Yeah, like,
I don't know, just something I'm thinking about, but I think it's probably best to not worry about
yeah,
it and just
it's definitely interesting to
all.
think about. Like, it's an interesting topic to talk about, but it's not something you should worry about because then you're just having an unnecessary stress on your mind, something you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
control. And
Comes
it's
back to the
like,
mental thing.
yeah, it's like, yeah, like, I mean, nothing you can do. So, like, why fucking worry about it? Right now it's good. Why, like, make it negative when right now it's fine. Right now it's good. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
how many events did you do in that 16 circuit thing they did?
Two.
Yeah. That's sick. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
They flew you out to Vegas, and then what was the other one?
They flew us out to Xanadu.
Oh, that other one was at Xanadu.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
called Glitch Region.
Got
Pretty
it.
cool.
Got it. Well, there you go.
The
Like,
event was sick. Yeah, I'm worried it'll never happen again, but
well,
you know what?
even if it never
You're right.
happens again, at least
We
it
shouldn't
happened at
worry. It
all,
did happen.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you were a part of it. So there you go.
Being a part of shit like that is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even just being a part of Pace is so dope.
Oh,
That's a
the
part
Mario
of
one thing they
speedrunning
had at
history.
Pace is like the best thing I got to ever be a part of.
Yeah, dude, that was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. I try to watch like other speed games sometimes, but
Hmm.
sometimes I'm just like more interested in Mario, and I don't really feel like it. But I was like interested in that shit. Like, I was watching it, dude. It's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
See, that's also the future. Like, more shit like that can happen that make the viewing experience even more like engaging.
Dude,
Like,
your guys' race stuff is so fucking cool.
that
Like, it
guy
is the dopest shit in the world.
Flippity Dibbity is an absolute legend, as they say.
That shit makes SMB1 like so appealing to watch.
Oh yeah.
I think if you guys didn't have that, I don't know. I don't want to think about that. But if you guys like, because you guys have that, like it just makes it so much fun to watch and like keep
Hmm.
track of.
Well, I mean, I can speak as someone who's been around where we didn't have it for years.
Yeah, yeah.
I all of the tournaments we had online were like just hosted by someone in the community, all for free. Like, Speed Gaming would showcase them, but like, there's no prize pools or anything. and not a
Yeah.
lot of people would watch it. Yeah. And I mean GSA tried to do a Mario 1 tournament in like 2018. I can speak about how it didn't really go over very well, but
What
I
happened?
mean, yeah, I won't go into it again. I won't
Okay,
drudge
okay.
up old shit, but there's just everyone was like new to it
Hmm.
back then, so like, you know.
I
But
got
like
you.
again, like and then another thing didn't happen until like that technology came back. So like again, I've seen it where like no one really cares about it because I don't know. It does well on YouTube, like specifically like content focused things about it, not like just uploading speed runs. I can speak on
Yeah,
that in a
yeah.
personal fact, but like yeah, no one would even though it like does well in that sense, no one like really cared to watch it in like a tournament style. So yeah, now that we have that, it's like, "Oh, you see it is actually cool." You just need to
It
see
makes
it
it
in a certain way, I guess.
way more appealing because like no other game has that.
Hmm.
It's like you're watching like people like race each other,
Yeah,
but
it's
like
like
and they're all on their fucking single player consoles. Like that's so cool.
it's almost like a virtual horse race betting type deal without the betting,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, you see the horses going, it's like, oh shit. It's like,
It is like
but
that, dude.
it's gamers gaming though, and you see it all on one big screen with
Like it's
super accurate information being pulled from it. The fact that it's all like original hardware is the most insane part of it. Because like if you set that all up on emulators, I can see it. But like all of that data being fed through actual hardware is like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I don't know.
yeah, yeah. So dope.
So yeah, like
Uh
if tournaments
yeah.
keep like doing cool shit like that, like speedrunning set, man. Then we don't have to worry
True,
about
true, yeah.
content shit. So else we're good at the game and get invited to shit. There you go. Gotta hope.
Getting invited to stuff is such a fun experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been invited to something, I don't think. I've been accepted to
Uh
like events.
GDQ?
Well, yeah,
What about GDQ? How does that
well,
work?
I guess it depends on your definition of being invited to something. Like, I think your case is different is because they reached out to you specifically and were like, hey, you want to be a part of this? We'll fly you out and do all this shit. For something like GDQ, you submit a run and they accept it. And then it's like, okay, now you'll run at the event, but you still have to get there and like you would just go there normally. You just also happen to have a run at the event. Like all
I
they do is
see.
like waive the badge
Okay.
fee, I guess. So
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
it's a little different in my opinion.
Do they
So
give you anything for doing those runs, or is it all like just for charity or whatever?
the only thing they do is for GDQ, you know, just like Pace, you have to buy a badge for like $60 or whatever. They
Uh-huh.
will waive that fee. That's all.
That I don't know. Maybe I'm an ass, but I feel like that is like a little unfair. But I don't know.
I
I
mean,
feel like for you guys like being the only ones like being the ones making that event possible. I feel
well,
like you should they should help a bit for your travels, but it's also speedrunning, so I don't know. Never mind.
yeah, like I mean, there's so many people that work behind the scenes that
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true. That's true.
it
That's true.
wouldn't be as big as it is without those people. But yeah, they get by with so many people just volunteer. And
Yeah, I guess that's cool.
it's like
Everyone knows they're
Jesus.
volunteering. They're doing it.
Yeah,
That's
but I mean, yeah, I mean, I love going to GDQs. It'd be nice to not have to worry about going broke having to go to it, but like I'm not gonna complain about it. Like it makes
yeah,
sense. Like Pace doesn't even waive the badge fee if you get accepted. So at least we
true.
got that. I mean, again, not complaining. I'm just
Yeah,
pointing out
I
and
don't want
I'm just
to.
making an observation. But
I don't want to sound like I'm actually complaining, but it's just like
yeah,
things that would be sick if were improved.
yeah. Like
Uh,
I'm not trying to complain. I'm just pointing out observations that are relevant to the topic at hand.
yeah, we're being so I guess PC. I don't know.
PC.
We're like trying to cover everything. It's funny,
Yeah,
but
devil's advocating so hard right now.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, dude. Uh, how are like controllers in SMB1? Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
guys always got to get new controllers?
What I have to do is I have to like replace the rubbers on the inside like monthly.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But the controllers themselves, like, yeah, they don't get worn out. We don't have to worry about like a stick, which is like this such an easy thing to break on your Nintendo 64 controller shit. So yeah, it's definitely a lot different that way. But like, yeah, you want to clean out the controller very frequently and replace the inner parts a lot because like I've had it all the time. I don't know what the rubbers inside the Nintendo 64 controller really look like. I've never opened mine up, but you know, for like the buttons, you have the plastic base, and then there's like,
Yeah,
you know, the
I
thing
know.
that comes
Yeah,
up that you push down and that hits the trigger. That thing will like rip off of the base.
it does that for us too.
Okay.
That's like right now for like most people that have steel sticks. It's like the only issue is pads.
Yeah, the
Because,
pads.
dude, once you like get used to a good set of pads, I mean, you might feel this. I don't know
Hmm.
how your pads are there, but like once you get used to a good set of pads and then you have to change it out to a bad set, I can't play.
I
Like I
mean,
refuse to play, dude. It's so bad.
I mean, I don't play at a top level, so I don't really know in a Nintendo 64 sense at least. But like I'm used to my pads. Actually,
Yeah, I
what's
got
funny
you.
is, you know, I the controller I have is just what came when I bought the Nintendo 64. And I've had people at like Pace like, "How good's my stick?" And they'll be like, "Eh." And I'm like, "Yeah, I figured." And that makes sense. But like I tried people's steel sticks there and I'm like, "This goes into the notches way too easily. I like can't play." It's like too good like I because you know, sometimes you have to hold a direction that isn't notched.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like can't do that on the steel stick. It just slides in too well.
A
So I
lot
like
of
almost can't play on that.
a lot of what people do is go into a notch and then go to in between. Like,
Yeah, like that's what I'll do, but I just find that process a lot more easier.
oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Uh, I found with like if you have bad notches on your controller, especially like steel stick,
Hmm.
it's it's like impossible to play because you you like everything is so it's just so notched. Like
Yeah.
if your down is slightly right, you just can't play. You just can't. Same with your
Yeah,
up, same with your right, same with your left. Like if it's a little bit out of the notch, you just can't play.
it's Jover, man. Yeah.
Or you have to get used to it, which is the worst process of all time. Like getting used to a bad controller is so bad.
Yeah.
Uh, Especially like at a high level.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
get that.
Squeegee complains about it all the time with like I don't know. You'll probably see it on his Twitter sometimes where
Yeah.
he can't do zero because of button pads.
I mean,
Like
he's like the person that it affects the most because he has to be more perfect than anyone else. So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
like if he can't mash, he can't BLJ. He can't SBLJ. He
Hmm.
can't LBLJ. Like
And he kind of needs to.
yeah, and it doesn't even just affect that. Like you gotta you gotta do AB on the same frame a lot or like AZ on the same frame a lot.
Mm,
Uh, and if your pads are bad, it feels different every time. It's hard to get
yeah.
used to, and it feels like shit. It's just
Hmm.
I don't know. The game's fucked, man.
Yeah.
Fuck Mario. Fuck speedrunning.
So okay, okay, fair enough. But that's interesting. I kind of want to segue into that because I'm interested in like
All
top
right.
level Mario 64. Like I don't know. I'm still learning a lot about like the interest intricacies, whatever. I don't know. I don't know the word for it, but like something I remember from Pace specifically is like I was just practicing and like Mindide, I guess, looked at me and he's like, "Why are you doing this wrong?" And I was like, "I don't know." And it was,
Oh
you know, when
gosh.
you are doing a rollout
Yeah, yeah.
and you do the roll and then the rollout. I would just push A, but apparently you
Yeah.
have to like push B and A, and it's like,
Okay.
like,
So so the weird thing about this
Mhm.
is you're not doing it wrong.
You're just having one less frame to roll out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You get it. So
But like, what is it? Do you want to like rub your thumb across the button so you have the two different frames, or is that on this? Because I assume if you do it on the same frame,
you want to
that's
see what
not
I do?
helping.
Okay. So what I do
Okay.
is fucked. A lot. Only a few people do this.
Okay.
I learned it from Lunar. Is I swipe
Okay.
down from B to A.
That's what I've started doing because I was like, when I learned that, I was like, okay, I'll just tap them on the same frame, and that's what I've been doing. But then I thought about it. That's not going to help if I'm like pushing the buttons on the same frame. That's not.
Yeah.
That's defeating the entire purpose.
Some
It's like,
people
yeah.
will like have their full thumb on it and then like roll like that.
I'm so used to. Okay, I'm going into Mario 1 controller territory, but sometimes you need to do like a really tiny jump on this thing. So if you like, there are one framers, and if you do that, you just like tap the A button as quickly as you can. So it's just like rub your thumb about it. So if you're like doing this, it's just like go over like that. But if you
Yeah.
need to do just a small jump, and sometimes you can do it with one frame, I can do it. But like do like a one frame jump already running, I'll rub my thumb across A like that. So I'm used to that kind of input where you just slide your thumb across the two
Oh.
buttons.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So I feel like that would better translate to Nintendo 64 for me because it's like a similar input method to what I'm used
Yeah.
to.
That's a similar. Yeah, that's like pretty much just like what I do. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
uh another thing with doing that is I've gotten to the point in my movement where uh say you jump and then like the frame before you land, you dive, roll out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that with a perfect B then A, you get a dustless uh last frame rollout kind of thing. So like
I've never heard of last frame rollout. Is
that I
what's
just
going
made
on?
that up.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I understand.
so like the last frame that Mario can dive, you dive roll out,
Mm-hmm.
which is like an interesting thing. It's not even necessary. It's just like a kind of a cool quirk with the the engine, I guess. But it's like it's super fun to do, and like getting good at that is so insane because it's so frame perfect. Like
Mm.
it's the frame before you land, you dive the frame before you land, you roll out the frame you land, and it's all visual, and like I can do it like many times in a row. It's crazy how like frame perfect your muscle memory can get just by playing a lot. Fucking wild.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's shit like that in SMB one to like
Yeah.
a worse
Hey,
extent,
it's harder
but
for us
yeah,
because it's 60.09 frames per
yeah,
second,
yeah,
not
yeah.
30. But no, but like yeah, it's like top level movement in that game is like you as a casual viewer you don't know. Like it's only till you speedrun the game and really like look into how other people do their movement. It's like holy shit.
Yeah, that
It's wild.
SMB one is insane. How many like frame
I was
perfect
talking about
fucking.
64 movement.
Oh, you're talking about 64?
Yeah,
Yeah, 64 is crazy.
like Mario 1 you don't have to really worry about movement. Like you hold B and Mario goes fast. Like whoop de doo.
I
It's like specific like frame perfect tricks is like what makes Mario 1. But what makes Mario 64 is like the movement. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you could take
I thought
someone that has like a 16 and someone that has a 15 and like they
yeah.
play the exact same, but it's like the movement over the course of the run, the 15 player just has down better. It's crazy how much it matters and like how again like a casual viewer doesn't know that. They like see the trick and it's like, "Oh." But like the movement itself is like most of
Yeah,
the run and it's crazy how precise it is.
Mario's movement, Mario 64's movement
Yeah.
is so like it's so like clean and crisp. Like it
Yeah.
feels so fucking good. Like being I think the game becomes okay, I don't know if the word is fun, but I think the game becomes more uh
Appealing.
appealing, enjoyable,
Mhm.
easier to come back to when you get more precise movement. Because
Yeah.
it like nothing feels better than nailing like insane movement in this game. Like
Yeah.
nothing can come close to it. It feels so good.
Yeah, I mean, I practice Mario 64 for fun, like ILs, like seeing how fast I can do it because yeah, the movement's
Yeah,
just fun to execute. And I wouldn't like practice Mario 1 for fun,
yeah.
but
And it's not just bullshit. Like it's like everything has leniency, but you're still trying to do it like the same way every time.
mhm.
If that makes sense. I don't know.
Like
I don't know what I'm saying.
you don't like lose the run if you do an input late most of the time. It's just a
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
slower, and then if you that builds up over time, then you start like losing time. So the better the movement, like the better the time is.
Yeah, like someone with a 16 probably loses on average at least like point 0.2 to point 0.3 on every star to like me just because I've played the game more, which is wild.
Yeah, just because the movement's like a little better.
Yeah, yeah. And the only way to get better at it is by playing more.
Hmm.
And that's
It's
what makes the
wild.
game just like the skill ceiling in Mario is so high. Like
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
you can always get better at Mario
Yeah.
64.
It, exactly. Like your movement can always just improve, and that's just the thing from like someone who is like moderately okay. It's like it's not all about just hitting the few tricks in like a 16 run per se, but like the movement is like the most important part almost. It's
Uh
just
yeah, something Luigi Scyther and I say is skill or strat saves seconds, movement saves minutes.
yeah, but it's just weird because I don't think a lot of games are like that in speedrunning. At least not what I'm used to
Yeah,
because I'm so into like 2D retro shit, but like Mario 64 specifically, there's just something about it that the movement is like so important to the speed run. And again,
it
casual people love Mario 64, but 99% of them don't realize how much the movement is important. They just see, funny BLJ trick and it's like hoo 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 cool, but like that's that's not what
I
it's all
think
about.
I think that's true to an extent, but I think a lot of people, like especially Twitch viewers, like I've noticed, like in my chat, they'll be like, if I hit like a six Suki where I get like fucking no dust and
Yeah.
uh, like a bunch of frame perfect speed kicks or something, they'll be like, "God damn, that was clean," or some shit like that, or
Like
I
well,
think sometimes they understand,
yeah, there's
but
the 1% that
yeah,
knows what you're doing, but like Mario 64 is so popular that like,
that's true. That's true.
I guess I'm going based off of like some of the bigger Mario 64 streamers where all I do is
Yeah,
spam
that's
nonsense,
true.
so they don't know
I
what's going
guess
on.
the people who watch me are gonna be more like in the
In the
community,
know, yeah.
but yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think even if you haven't played the game much or at all, if you watch it, you can tell the difference between good and bad movement like extremely easily.
Yeah.
Like
Like
if you watch
if
someone
you
with a
compare it,
16,
sure, but like most
yeah,
people
yeah,
aren't going to
yeah.
be comparing shit.
That's yeah, that's true.
But like for the longest time I didn't know what dust even meant. Like what the Oh, you mean the particles? Why does that matter? Oh, because if you happen to roll out first frame, he doesn't make any, and that just makes you go faster. It's like, okay, man.
Dude, I'll like dream about doing dustless rollouts sometimes. I'm not kidding. It's
Dude,
so addicting.
I dream about speed running more frequently than I should. So
Same, man.
I'm too addicted to the grind, I guess. But yeah,
Mario is so fun.
yeah,
Both Marios. Every Mario.
all the Mario's, all the games, just speed running, cool, fun. Would recommend, but yeah, that's just like the biggest thing I learned about Mario 64 is just how integral movement is. It's wild.
Yeah, I find like Melee is similar as well. Like
Yeah, I don't know much about Melee, but I have to, yeah. I mean, that game is ridiculous.
if
That's
you
all I know.
if you play some Melee, like if you just hop on and you like move around, you like even just learn some tech, and then you watch like a top level like match,
It's like, oh.
like the things that they're doing and how smart it is, like so fast is just it's so impressive. Like It is so fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's another thing. Well, 99% of the people watching probably don't realize just how insane what they're doing is. Me included, of course,
Yeah,
but like yeah, that's
for
like a
sure.
good I guess that's why Armada does both, right? It just makes sense. It's the same
Dude, what's
thing, but
what's so funny about Armada is like obviously he's fucking correct in Mario,
yeah.
but uh Armada had like a super technical fox. I don't know how much you know about Melee, but
Next to nothing.
Fox is like the fastest character in the game. Has the most like, well, I don't know if that's true, but he has like super cool tech, and he's like, I mean, he's widely regarded the best. He's super fast. He's sick. And Armada like picked up Fox, and he had like a very like textbook Fox, where like he could just hit everything. He's fucking cracked. And in Mario, he's cracked as fuck, but his movement is like not insane. He's so consistent though.
Mm.
Like I don't know how much Armada you've watched, but his movement is good enough, but his consistency in doing the movement carries him so hard, and it's
Mm.
just like so different to the way he played Melee.
Interesting.
But I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he was just like so much better than everyone then that it looked like he was not, or it looked like he was the greatest player ever. But I don't know. But he's sick at Mario. I fucking love that Armada plays Mario. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess like the point I was trying to make is invalid because it's the opposite of what I was thinking, according to you. So that's funny, but yeah, again, I don't know much about Melee at all. So
Melee's, dude, you should watch some Melee. It's so fucking
I've
cool.
watched some Melee, but I
Or
don't know
maybe
what's
play
going
some.
on, man.
Uh,
So yeah, I can't really
how
speak on
long?
that.
How long do you usually do these? I might have to go in like 5 or 10.
Yeah, usually around 2 hours. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool. I didn't want to like leave early.
yeah. Uh, how much time do you say do you have?
Probably like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Want to go till like 3:15, or would you want to cut it here? Or...
Yeah, we can do the next five. I'll try to think about some other few things. I think we got most good stuff. Like you said your whole history, which is good. We talked a little about events. I don't know if you had any other pace things that you didn't
Uh,
anything we here, I'll ask you, anything we didn't talk about that
I
you wanted to
mean,
bring up?
I don't know. I mean, pace, fucking awesome. Hopefully
Pace
going to
fucking
the next
awesome.
pace.
I signed up
Uh,
for it. We'll see if I'm broke or not by then, but
see
it's
if
the
I'm
only thing
broke too.
stopping me.
Uh, I don't know if I'll go yet, but
Yeah.
hopefully I do. But I mean, I am hopefully going to consistently speedrun for a while, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Because now I don't have a job.
Hey, same. Love to hear it. Even though I'm
Unemployed. Let's go.
unemployed life,
Woo-hoo.
I'm dying inside though. But anyway, see, it's worse when you're 24.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's fair.
um,
But I mean, you're doing what you like, I guess.
that's what's been keeping me going. Is like, yeah, I'm not making money, but I'm doing what I like, and I feel like like again, happiness is more important than money to me. Uh, I think
It's
money
a
is
good.
kind of cringe, but you do
I
kind of need it to
agree.
live, so that's the only problem with my thought process. Anyway,
I mean,
um,
yeah, I've always felt that like I just want enough money to live, and I'm chilling. I'm balling.
yeah,
I just want to be happy.
literally same. That is my exact like thought process. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah. So you're grinding for the 14, but you're
yeah,
learning 120. So I assume some 120 in the future as
yeah.
well.
Definitely in the future, but I mean, we'll see what happens when I get 14. But
Hmm.
I think it'd be really dope to get a 4x and then go for 3x, maybe world record. Be sick.
Damn. All right, go off.
I I wanna. I don't know. I obviously Suji's run, fucking incredible,
Oh yeah.
but I think it can be beat, and I think that if anyone's gonna do it, that I think that I could.
Ooh, you heard it here
uh,
first.
but obviously, it's gonna take some grinding.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one. But
But okay, I hold on. I think I
okay.
actually came out wrong. I meant
No.
like if anyone's gonna do it, like someone's got to do it, and you know what? I'll be the one.
Yeah.
I will grind. I will do it because I think I can. But we'll see what happens. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, no. I at least understood what you meant.
Okay, cool.
But what do you have like any plans beyond that though? Like, are you mainly just gonna stick with 64 or like any other games in the future? Like,
I mean, I plan to just stick with 64,
yeah,
but
that's fair.
if I get bored, I do want to get like a sub 5 in SB1. So
Ah,
if I
very
get,
good. There it
I think
is.
it'll be dope. But I'm so focused on 64 right now. I just
Yeah,
don't
like
have the time.
I get. I mean, you're young. You have so many years
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
can do whatever. Like, it doesn't matter when. But yeah,
I think there will be a day you see the TREYBORDO sub 5.
hell yeah. That's that's what I like to hear on this show. But yeah, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
Uh, yeah, I can wrap things up here, I guess. If there's any questions in the chat, feel free to ask. But yeah, if you think we talked about everything, you can go ahead and
Yeah,
self-promote to your liking.
I can't think of anything else really. I mean, I'm just TREYBORDO on everything.
There you go.
I be speedrunning.
You be
That's about it.
speedrunning. Hey, look, the links are there on the stream and in the YouTube
Yes,
description.
sir. They
Poggers.
are.
Yes, sir. But yeah, it was nice to talk about like mental stuff. I don't get I get a little bit of that, but like I didn't realize how in depth you were on it. So that was actually really interesting to me.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I guess I can just go into it for a little, like not too much, but uh, I've I've like spent a lot of time, like during COVID and stuff, like learning about mental health and uh, speedrunning connected to that, and I've learned a lot about like sports as well.
mm,
Um, so like I love talking about it. It's my favorite thing because I think it's one of the most like interesting things about the world. I don't
I
fucking
mean
know.
that's fair. Yeah, I mean it's cool to have like some unique discussion on here because it doesn't always have to be about speedrunning, and I mean it relates to it
Yeah,
anyway, so like works out. I learned some things.
hell
I'll
yeah.
probably check out that damn book if it's helping so
You
many
should, dude.
people. Yeah.
So fucking
I mean,
awesome. It's such a good book.
I could
You can
read
just
that. It
listen
might
to
just
it too.
fucking change my life. I don't know. We'll see.
It
But
might change your life. We'll see, man.
we'll see. I do not suffer any pain yet, but hey,
I
it
mean,
could help with other things.
it, dude, it's awesome. I think if you it like you seem super interested, like very
Yes.
similar to how I felt about mental health,
Hmm.
especially like connected to speedrunning. And like
Yeah.
that book, like literally was like a godsend. Like
Hmm.
it just taught me everything I ever wanted to know.
Yeah. I mean, I care about it so much because I have generalized anxiety disorder. So it's like
I mean, yeah.
I've been trying really hard
I
to
get
like
that, dude.
fight it, I guess. So it's like
I
it's
didn't mean that
interesting to
to
learn
sound like
more.
an insult or
No, no,
something,
no, no.
but uh
I didn't think you were. I'm just
okay,
I'm
yeah.
explaining
Um
why personally it like means something
hell
to
yeah,
me, I
dude.
guess. Because
I
I don't mind that being
I love
public. I
that.
think it's important to like be
Dude,
yourself on
yeah.
the internet. So
I mean
well, not too much like
talking
yourself.
about your issues and then
Trying to work on
learning
them.
about ways to address them and then
Yep.
talking about it can help people, it can help yourself. It's just there's no bad thing to it, you know?
Exactly. That's like the main
So,
takeaway is it's important and you should never feel bad about talking about it because it can only help you and it could even help others, and that's when it gets like super important. I mean, like if
yeah.
one person like I listen to this and it might help me, but if like one other person listens to the conversation, it's like, hey, why don't I check that? You just helped someone. Like there you
Yeah,
go.
someone checks out a book. They're like, "Hey yo,
Hey
this
yo.
helps."
Hey yo. Yeah.
Hey
So
yo, thanks Speedrunner Spotlight. This is hype.
yeah, this was a fun episode.
This was fun, dude.
Yeah.
I love talking about the topics we brought up. That was fun as
Yeah.
fuck.
Thank you for doing this on such short notice too, because you know what's funny is I've like DM'd so many people, but I guess
Oh,
everyone's
really?
just too famous for me. They never get back to me. So I was like, oh God, I don't have someone for this week. What am I gonna do? And then you came in clutch, so I appreciate it.
I saw your tweet and I was like, why the fuck not?
Yeah,
Sounds
there you go.
fun.
Hey, I appreciate the clutchness
Of course,
because
dude.
I don't want to miss a week. And 26 strong, we're still going. Technically 27 if you count episode 0, but yeah.
Well, if you ever want to repeat, I'm down to come and talk. But
yeah, I think the way
obviously, I
I'll
get
do
it.
this is always have someone different on. But I mean,
Yeah, no, I get that. I was just saying, if you ever need help,
yeah,
or if you ever just want to talk, dude, it's fun.
you know what?
Um,
Sounds good to me.
yeah, that was fun, man. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yep. All right. I'll wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Again, be sure to follow the stuff. Let me do the amazing. Okay, there we go. The shout out command. Actually, good Twitch feature. We love to see it.
Hell
And
yeah.
yeah, thanks for watching. Watching on Twitch. It'll be on YouTube shortly. If you're watching YouTube, I stream these every week. Stay tuned for future episodes. All right. Have a good one. Bye bye now. Bye.